Welcome to the table read of Triangulated. This is a great sitcom as we've discovered the process of rehearsing it and running it through. Very excited to have all of you here. Very excited to see how you guys are playing the characters you're assigned. Very excited. I'm obviously the writer and creator of this thing. And we really, really hope that with this table read, we as a collective group will be able to send this to our representation agents and managers, added to our respective reels, et cetera, and really make a push forward with our careers as far as this particular project is concerned. So, on that note, we begin. Exterior, Miami Business District, morning. Veronica and David Rivera walk along the sidewalk. David, 36, Cuban-American, handsome, dynamic, but a bit clumsy. Wears a khaki cotton suit on account of the heat and carries an attaché case. Veronica, 34, English, posh. His wife gawks at the brightly colored buildings in the tropical sun, the palms, and the nearby ocean.
So this is Miami. Wow. Wasn't as humid in the postcards.
That's why we work in offices and live in houses.
You rugged indoorsman, you.
This isn't London. Try getting around here on foot, and by the third step, you're sweating like OJ on a polygraph. Which is, I so don't need on my first day back at HQ. It's stressful.
Indeed. What with cubicles, offices, and dialing 9 to get out, your life's a meaningless nightmare of despair.
David, slightly defensive, tries to change the subject.
Don't you have a deadline?
Already sent my column on handling culture shock. It's yesterday based.
Your first day's adventure?
Gotta make the jet lag work for me.
Flashback, interior, Havana Grand Prix, afternoon. The place is decorated with vintage images and decor of car racing in pre-communist Cuba. At the far end, we see a window open to the harbor. It's between shifts, so Gabriel, 28, bearded, semi-hipster, the owner with a booming voice and a serious air, wipes the bar top and looks patiently at Marilyn O'Doyle, 29, Irish-American, petite and charismatic. Veronica enters, looks around until she spots Marilyn and walks over.
Mrs. Riviera, still on metric time?
Sorry, came straight from unpacking and my taxi drove by Braille.
This is why I never worried about deadlines when you were my editor.
Can I get you anything?
Just keeping coffee. No fun fluids for my late friend. She'll pass out.
Yes, I truly will. Another coffee, please.
Gabriel returns to 2 tiny shots of Cuban coffee.
What's this?
Un cafecito. Cuban coffee.
Oh, sorry. It's been a hell of a long day. Could I get a proper cup?
A mildly surprised Gabriel looks to Marilyn with concern. Marilyn nods as if to say, she knows what she's doing, and he goes.
This is your go-to bar? Looks like Antiques Roadshow at the Cuban DMV.
Oh, by the way, congrats on your book deal, Madam Etiquette.
Gabriel brings a huge cup of what looks like chocolate syrup.
Sorry, again. Could I trouble you for some cream?
Gabriel brings her a small pitcher of cream, which Veronica empties into her cup.
Wait, my coffee didn't change color.
How's your husband, King David?
David's distracting himself with his parents, keeps him from stressing about work with his old boss, who was once his girlfriend but is now his new boss.
I need a flow chart to unravel that before I have a small stroke.
Veronica, slightly exasperated, re-explains.
His old girlfriend was promoted to CEO, youngest at any Fortune 500. How's your new assignment? Oh my, this is delicious. I may weep.
I'm making more than ever because of the hazard pay on my high-risk assignment.
You, high risk.
Mm-hmm.
You asked for hazard pay to drive on the left. Senor, this is superb. May you receive a MacArthur grant. Coffee's a bit strong, isn't it?
Interior, Marilyn's car later. We pull back to see Veronica riding shotgun.
I think I'm seeing dead relatives.
Glad you're cool with him working with his ex. I wouldn't be. That's just not in my wiring.
Speaking of which, my adrenal gland's the size of a walnut now. Cuban coffee, wow. I see why Miami has no meth.
Exterior, downtown. Entrance to Java Journey HQ, continuous. Veronica and David still walking. David suddenly slows.
Oh, damn it. It's Laura.
Laura, the CEO. CEO Laura. Laura, the ex-girlfriend CEO Laura.
Laura Adams, 38, girl next door upmarket, impeccably dressed with an expensive bag, rounds the corner in front of David and Veronica.
I braced myself for this, but I wasn't counting on you as a witness. Be nice.
Whom you dated in the dim past is of no consequence at all. We're married. You're mine. I own you. Your state of Florida gave me a receipt and everything.
That's a wedding license. I beg you, don't be weird with her. It makes it much harder for me. So please behave.
And Laura's upon them. David tenses a tiny bit.
Dave Rivera.
Guilty. My wife, Veronica.
Laura goes for the NBA handshake as Veronica moves in for the Euro double tap kiss. They accidentally kiss on the lips.
I remember from your browser history you like that kind of thing. Seen you on telly. I love your book and column.
Well, let me say I've enjoyed Java Journey on both sides of the pond, and I'm always impressed with the decor, the ambience, and the cost.
You know, I was worried it'd be awkward with the Dave thing, but here you are, crushing it like when you were on TV. Can't wait to hang out. You know, here, give me your phone.
Laura takes Veronica's phone and starts tapping numbers.
I'm calling my phone with yours, so we got each other's number. You see where I'm going with this, Veronica?
Yes?
Laura's phone rings. The ringtone is the Java Journey jingle.
You are in the JJ family too. Here.
From her bag, Laura gives Veronica a Java Journey baseball cap, which Veronica takes with enthusiasm.
Look at me. I'm practically American. Extra large with fries.
We do eat like you guys drink.
Dave, come, let's look at your new office.
David gives Laura a thumbs up as he heads inside with Laura. Interior, Havana Grand Prix, later that day. Marilyn is at a booth with Veronica, who sticks to sparkling water. Gabriel and tourists having early mojitos are behind them.
Laura's my fave American after Ike.
I thought I was.
You were my first American. You set the bar for others to trip over.
Marilyn's phone rings. She answers.
Hello? Oh, hi, Rick. Yeah. Just got to the harbor. A patrol boat is taking me to the commandant.
Gabriel immediately pushes a button on the sound system, and nautical sound effects, foghorns, etc., play loudly.
Hang on. Let me get better reception.
Marilyn flashes $100 and motions for Gabriel to wind it down. He does as he takes the money.
You're breaking up. I got to go. Oh, I'll email you. Bye. I'm covering peace talks with the rebels in San Miguel.
How are you a foreign affairs correspondent and hate flying?
Hey, I'm fighting the man. All right? I don't need to go somewhere to write about it. That's what Google and YouTube are for. And I just take the money that they give me and I make better use of it. Sometimes I get people souvenirs from eBay.
Wait, did you pull this stunt on me when you were my travel columnist?
You loved the maracas, didn't you? Why do you think Laura really wants to be your friend? Like, what did she say?
That we should hang out. Clearly smitten with me. Gave me this cap.
Veronica puts that cap on again and is about to sound American when Marilyn waves her off.
A very original form of revolting.
Fine. The key bit is she gave me a gift.
Look, you're famous adjacent, and she's like she came on you like a hoochie.
What's it mean, hoochie? Someone called me that at customs yesterday.
Well, it's a kind of like a minx.
Maybe I am quite the hoochie.
I keep telling people this.
Interior, David's outer office day. Laura shows David, holding a fresh Java Journey cup, into his new office. Seated at a desk outside his door is Joan Balboa, a handsome woman in her late 40s, dressed in a neat professional way.
This is your assistant, John. Let's hope John is more detached than when you were mine.
Whoa. Whoa. I wasn't.
Is this the guy, the one?
David, straddling the line between flustered and defensive, tries to set the record straight.
First, that was years ago. I was working through some issues and
Oh, please, please. You went to the London HQ for 2 years just to get over me.
you sent me. You said it was a promotion.
Interior, David's office, continuous. A calmer David retreats to his office. Pleased, he surveys his fancy new domain and sits at his desk. He clears his throat and hits the intercom.
Joan, I need a hard copy of all the focus groups reports from last year, please.
Feeling important, he tilts his chair, putting his feet on the desk and takes a manly gulp of coffee. We hear a crack, and the chair falls over as David crashes through the floor. He stands, coffee all over the front of his pants.
Damn it. Damn.
With a fistful of tissues, David dabs furiously at his zipper, to no avail. He yanks down his pants just as Joan enters, from whose hand the reports drop in a steady stream. They stare at each other. She glares at him and addresses David as if he were her son caught graffitiing the school.
I'm only saying this once. I don't care how it is in Europe. I will not put up with this. Next time, I call HR.
Wait, Joan, it's not.
You will not coerce me.
Joan exits David's office and he follows her out, clumsily holding up his undone pants. Exterior, David's office. David spots Laura looking in his direction. He sighs, defeatedly going back inside and closing the door. From outside, we hear another crack and a thud of him falling again. Cut to Marilyn's car, exterior sidewalk cafe, noon. Sitting in the traffic with Marilyn, Veronica looks around at people outside. She sees a motorcycle cop in front of the sidewalk. The cop moves out of the way, revealing Laura, who sits drinking coffee and reading the Wall Street Journal at an outdoor Java Journey cafe table.
Hey, there she is. It's Laura. I'll call her, but she won't know I'm looking at her. It'll be brilliant. I'll say, Colombian or Costa Rican, and she'll say, how'd you know I'm drinking coffee? And then I'll say, hey, great shoes. And then she'll say, how'd you know about my shoes? And I'll say, because I'm 10 feet away. She'll laugh, and I will too, and then we'll be even better friends, if such a thing were possible. Hilarious, no?
I think it lost something in translation.
I'm doing it. I must help David with Laura, the supreme achievement in Americans.
Veronica, giddy, dials Laura. In the distance, we hear Laura's phone ring. She looks at the caller ID and puts it back down. Through the above, we hear the outgoing message.
This is Laura Adams. I'm sorry I'm not available to take your call right now. Please leave a message and I will return your call as soon as possible.
I know. I'll leave a clever message.
I so beg you not to.
Laura's phone beeps. Veronica speaks to the recorder, but it comes off creepy rather than playful.
Hey, Laura. La la Laura. It's me, Veronica. I'm watching you, sitting there with your coffee and newspaper. Yes, I know what you're doing, what you're wearing. You can't see me, but I can see you. Bye.
Veronica hangs up.
Priceless.
That must be the Urban Dictionary definition of priceless.
Comedy means making people uncomfortable.
Oh, of course it does. Please tell me, in crayon, how you know her again?
She used to date my husband, and now she's the CEO of his company. We probably don't need to trouble David with tales of our fun.
Fade to Veronica and David's apartment later. Veronica and Marilyn enter. It's a spacious tropical place. A couple of stray welcome back banners are still hanging.
Tell David about the voicemail. He's worried about Laura. He's got to know.
Right. Commandant, tell you that?
It's just that I love David. And more than that, I love you guys together. And if he ever found himself lost without you, I don't know what I would do. Oh, no, wait, I do. I would ravish him daily, or would that be nightly?
I must say, I am deeply uncomfortable with that.
Oh, don't be. In this scenario, you've died from a very disgusting disease.
David enters from a bedroom with his parents, Sebastian and Gloria, a couple in their late 60s, who have brought takeout and are ecstatic to see Veronica.
Oh, I thought I heard her.
The princess who saved our boy.
How was your flight? Was going through customs okay?
David rolls his eyes as his parents fawn over Veronica. Through the following, Marilyn casually rifles through the kitchen. Veronica and David's living room later.
How was your day? I had my first Cuban coffee and didn't blink until noon.
Gloria and Sebastian delight in their daughter-in-law, as if Veronica were a brilliant stand-up.
Oh, how you phrase things.
You have to understand. We were just so worried about our boy. All those lunatics he dated. Remember the disgraced nun?
She wasn't disgraced. She just quit showing up to work.
And the Vegas showgirls? Huh.
More than one.
Allure of showbiz. I was powerless.
Terrible girls. Feathers everywhere. Kept finding them for days afterward. Oh, we have the best story on babies. You can use this one in a column. We go with his niece to Disney World.
They put her crib in our room.
David, Marilyn, and Veronica brace themselves for a story. Veronica and David's apartment much later. Gloria and Sebastian say goodbye to everyone and go home, leaving everyone exhausted with their grandparent tales.
Why would you take a kid to Disney World? Disney is not for kids. They tell you that to take your money.
You know, she loves the princesses. Cinderella, Snow White.
Snow White? Think about it.
What? It's a cartoon for kids.
You tell me if this is this for kids, okay? Narcissistic queen with a self-image issue hires a hitman to kidnap and whack her underage stepdaughter and then to come back with an internal organ.
It does sound a bit Tarantino.
And then girl gets lost in the woods, winds up in the hovel with 7 old dwarves. So what if there is squalor? Why, just get help from vermin. The diminutive 7 won't care. Until one day, Queen, dressed as a bag lady living under some overpass, goes to poison her.
They got her the cutest outfit.
Yeah, so this chick sees an unhygienic hag come at her with a magic apple. And we're talking orgy of FDA violations here, and says to herself, homeless street person? Raw produce? Why not? And bites into a poisonous apple and dies. And what did this chain gang, munchin gang here do with a dead underage girl? They say, let's stick the dead underage girl in a glass box in the hot sun.
They were all mourning and crying.
And when days later, some totally lost guy stops by and he's like, whoa, dead underage girl who's been in a glass box in the hot sun. I'm gonna tap that.
A little kid wouldn't.
Yeah, and a lost guy who's wandered through the forest on a horse wanting to get with their dead underage girl in a glass box in a hot sun is not the least bit strange to these dwarves. And they're all like, okay, but we get to watch. And he then kisses this dead underage girl in a glass box in the hot sun in such a way that he dislodges the apple from her throat. That's a kid's film. Fine.
She was so happy going through the park in her Snow White costume.
She sounds like quite the hoochie.
A sudden silence falls as David stares at Veronica.
Hoochie. Brits make it sound so posh. It's like you married Kate Middleton.
Cut to Veronica and David's apartment later. Veronica, David, and Marilyn eat the takeout by the TV.
Veronica, about Laura.
Everything okay?
Why? What'd you hear?
Oh, nothing. What'd you hear?
Nothing.
Exactly. Absolutely zero reason for her to be anything but delighted.
Yes. Anyway, Laura is having a welcome back cocktail reception for me tomorrow. We have to go.
He hands Veronica an email printout, then leans in to get in some more food. Behind him, Veronica looks at Marilyn and worried points to the paper. Marilyn mouths, "Tell him," as David leans back again.
Now, about Laura and me.
Yes. Thanks for being so great with her today. Like, the rest of my day sucked. Thing is, I'm trying really hard to prove I deserve the promotion. And anyways, at least one thing I don't have to worry about is you and Laura.
Isn't it nice, Veronica? The one thing he's not worried about.
It'll be just corporate types, including a few I beat out of this job. They're looking for anything to sabotage me, but so all those things that you do, which I find so endearing, avoid those.
He's saying you're weird.
She's not weird. Maybe a little. Okay, eccentric. In England, that's cool, but here,
I'm not weird. I demand examples of said weirdness.
Ooh, I know.
Take your time. No, this question is for David.
you just called a toddler a hoochie. That sort of thing.
She's a little minx. I was being cute.
Minx? Hoochie doesn't mean minx.
That's what Marilyn said.
I didn't think it'd pay off this quickly. Any dessert left?
Cut to David's at her office morning. As David, in a fresh suit, exits the men's room directly across his office area, his attaché case in one hand and his suit jacket draped over the other. With a polite nod, he enters his office area. Joan and a co-worker abruptly stop talking and follow him with their eyes. He pretends not to notice and enters. He closes the door behind him and puts the attaché case down and his jacket on the back of his chair, revealing he's not zipped up and has a bit of shirt sticking out from the gap.
Okay. Be cool.
He looks around, presses the intercom button.
Joan, come here in a moment, please.
Joan warily enters. David motions her to a chair by the desk.
About yesterday.
He goes to sit in his chair, which creaks ominously, so he non-threateningly sits on the edge of his desk, facing Joan.
Yesterday was not okay, but it was totally innocent. An accident. There was zero intent.
I'm getting mixed signals here.
David, serious, leans in to make his point, making the gap even worse.
No, I'm being open as can be.
I see that.
Settled then. Here if you need me.
I don't want anything.
Joan storms out of the office. David looks relieved until he sees himself in the mirror, noticing the unzipped pants. He sighs and presses the intercom button again.
Joan, come back in here, please.
No.
Cut to Havana Grand Prix day. Veronica and Marilyn talk over a mojito. Gabriel is nearby.
This party's going to be a nightmare.
Laura, you remember Veronica? Why, yes. She left me a macabre, disturbing message yesterday. Did she? Veronica, I don't love you anymore. Where's Marilyn? We shall wed. She shall issue me offspring.
Steady on. Message wasn't that bad.
How about an independent opinion? Gabriel, would you think if someone you just met once left you a voicemail saying that she's observing you from an unseen distance, would continue to do so, and was enjoying it?
I would have her arrested and sent to women's prison, like in the movies.
Gabriel goes back to his duties.
Then we must make this voicemail thing vanish. Dave's stressed enough about work, and he needs a wife who's charming and clever and not this is crucial bit, in any way weird.
He married himself into a corner there. Okay, we could break into Laura's place, steal her phone, replace it with an exact replica. And abduct her.
Or, better yet, I call back. Leave a message for Larry. Hi, Larry. It's Veronica. I wanted to see what you thought of my funny message, Larry. Bye, Larry.
Why would you call Laura Larry?
I'm not calling Laura Larry. I'm calling Larry Larry.
Okay, but stick with me. You're dialing Laura.
But she'll think I'm calling Larry.
Who's Larry again?
This is purely fictional Larry.
If pressed, what's your imaginary friend do for a living?
He's a chiropractic hygienist.
And his wife?
She collects moss. The thing here is that when I leave another voicemail on Laura's phone for the fictional Larry, Laura will then conclude I've been misdialing, intending to reach Larry, whose name hilariously appears adjacent to hers. This then absolves me from the original message, I shall be free.
This borders on convincing.
I'll do it now, thus eradicating the slight bother before the reception.
Leave ye that message.
Veronica puts her phone on the tabletop and taps speaker.
Note, s'il vous plaît, the elegance.
She taps Laura. We hear it ringing.
Hi, Veronica.
Veronica panics, covers the phone.
Elegant Blastoise. Go off speaker.
Veronica, can you hear me?
Veronica tries to pick up the phone but drops it in panic, knocking Marilyn's mojito all over it. They look at each other for a beat.
You owe me a drink, you hoochie.
Fade to Laura's penthouse. Night. Veronica, dressed for a night out, approaches an elegant penthouse door and knocks. A housekeeper answers.
I'm here for the reception.
You're early.
She opens the door, revealing a completely empty apartment.
How? It's 6 p.m. The email said 6 p.m.
Miss Laura, an Amish lady is here, very early for the reception.
But
She exits, leaving Veronica awkwardly in the middle of the living room. Laura comes from her bedroom in a robe and wet hair.
You're early.
sorry, I could have sworn it said 6 p.m. It does say 6 p.m., and so it is 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Miami time means 7 p.m. Do you call me?
What? No. Thing is, I call lots of friends, lots of times on my phone. Larry, say, the hygienic chiropractor, lives with his wife, the famous moss collector. Point is, I make lots of phone calls. Let me think. Did I call you? I don't think I did. I cannot recall said call.
Laura taps at her phone, shows it to Veronica.
You call.
Possibly, yeah, a little bit.
Well, I thought so. I'll have to speak with David.
Laura exits. Veronica sinks into a sofa in anguish. A caterer sets a tray on the coffee table in front of her. Veronica reaches for a something on a toothpick. The housekeeper swats her hand.
Wait for 7.
The housekeeper exits. Veronica thinks, then gets on her phone again, brushes rice off of it, and taps once. Laura's phone sounds in her room.
Hello?
Hi, Larry. Can you hear me, Larry?
Intercut with Laura in her bedroom.
Veronica?
Laura? OMG, this is so funny. I'm actually calling my friend Larry. Oh, now I see what happened. I tried to call Larry, but accidentally called you. Silly mistake, you know. Laura, Larry, right next to each other in the contact list. Purely accidental. Any silly message you got was for Larry.
My outgoing message starts with, "This is Laura Adams."
Of course it does.
You called and said, and I quote, "Hey, Laura." Then you added that, Laura.
Ah,
Anything else?
not at the moment, no.
Laura hangs up. Veronica quickly taps the phone again.
Pick up, pick up, pick up. Marilyn, I'm at Laura's. The Larry thing made it say 30-ish times worse, and now I look like a hoochie. I mean a proper hoochie, not Snow White toddler hoochie. Need help? Call me.
Veronica hangs up and groans. Her phone pings, a text from David.
Be there soon.
Oh, God.
Resolved, Veronica goes to Laura's bedroom, knocks, no answer. Laura loudly blow dries her hair, can't hear the door. Veronica knocks again, then shouts through the door.
Laura, I know you're quite angry, but I can clear things up. I can explain.
No answer. Veronica reaches for the doorknob, then decides against it. Taking her phone, she presses Laura. Laura, still blow drying, doesn't hear her phone. Voicemail.
Hey, Laura.
Laura's penthouse later that night. Many guests now, panning to find Veronica talking to one of them. Would your husband do a Java journey?
Not sure exactly, but we keep getting loads free coffee, so it's probably crucial. I do think I should ask.
Veronica sees David enter the party. She looks at Laura, who also sees him. Laura and Veronica lock eyes. It's a race. Laura glides smoothly through the crowd, greeting people, clinking glasses. Veronica trips, bumping into a waiter carrying empty glasses.
Sorry.
She circles past the mess and tries to move through the crowd.
Pardon me, excuse me.
She is almost there when she is intercepted by Joan.
You're David's wife, right? You should know he has an unhealthy fixation on me.
Oh, right. Lucky for you, he'll be probably available as of tonight, and I do highly recommend him. Well done. Hurry before my friend Marilyn gets to him. I'm certain she's ovulating.
Veronica tries to move on, but Joan won't let up.
Something happened. You need to know.
Angle on David as Laura reaches him.
Something happened. You need to know.
Laura pulls David aside into her bedroom. As they enter,
Laura, I can explain about Joan and me and my zipper.
Huh? What? No. We got way bigger problems than that. It's your wife.
Veronica? Why? How?
Well, she's a stalker, David. Worse than a stalker, she's my stalker. Look.
Laura shows David her call log. It reads Veronica 5 times.
It's like I'm beta testing Hell 2.0.
On Veronica and Joan.
Joan, thank you for telling me before calling HR.
On that, despite Joan's effort, Veronica breaks free.
What you say is quite important, but I've just seen David go into the bedroom with Laura.
Oh my God. Guy's a sex addict.
Veronica tries heading to Laura's room, but is blocked by a wall of guests. Veronica anxiously looks for a path and sees a man in a wheelchair nearby, leg in a cast. She takes the wheelchair.
Good heavens, sir, allow me. Coming through, wheelchair, make way.
The crowd parts and Veronica makes her way through. David talks with Laura in her bedroom, stressed and perplexed.
I don't see why she'd stalk you.
She has an obsession with me. As you well know, Dave, people just fixate on me. Here, the last message she left.
Laura taps her phone to play the latest voicemail. Just as Veronica arrives, still pushing wheelchair guy.
And this is the master bedroom with expansive views of the bay.
I sent to the buffet.
We have a very tight itinerary.
The message begins to play over speakerphone. When Veronica hears her own voice on the phone, she realizes the game is up.
Hey, Laura, Veronica again. I'm outside your room. How about not telling David about the phone calls?
As it plays, Veronica nervously watches a horrified David.
You see, Dave is very jealous, very devious, and he doesn't like my female friendships. Not that I assume we're friends. Oh no, not that we're not friends. Why, one day we could be good friends, the very best of friends. What I'm saying is I think we pair well. Not that I'm attracted to women. I mean, you could be attracted to women, and that'd be fine too. Better even.
David looks at Veronica incredulously, who slumps in shame.
If you were attracted to women, which you could absolutely be, and it's totally marvelous if you were, I'd be delighted to be on your arm if I were attracted to women, which I'm not. But no reason I couldn't pick it up. So in summary, Dave's jealous and devious. Don't trust him. These calls must remain our secret. Bye.
A long, agonizing silence. Awkward level. Unlocked.
Veronica, what?
Suddenly, Gabriel and Marilyn burst in.
Veronica, there you are. It's me, Larry. Why have you not called me?
Oh, God.
You had promised to call me with a funny message. You have not done so. I'm really, really disappointed and angry.
That's not like Veronica, who's fond of my moss and among my least disturbed friends. Why, I bet Veronica accidentally called somebody else.
No.
Veronica, let me be as clear as I can. Don't call me. And consider therapy.
Fine. Maybe if you'd been this honest yesterday, none of this mess would have happened.
Veronica, please.
Wait, I might have actually swerved into a point here. She misled me. You said you wanted to be friends, and that wasn't true. That's not nice.
I was being polite for his sake.
Veronica is suddenly indignant.
I wrote the book on manners, in which it reads, one means what one says and says what one means. So, good night. And thank you for the lovely evening. Those crab thingies were spectacular.
Cut to Laura's penthouse moments later. Veronica, forlorn, still pushing the wheelchair, leads David out of Laura's bedroom, clumsily dropping wheelchair guy off at the buffet, whose cast hits the table with a soft thud as he groans in pain.
I'm sorry about all that.
It actually helped. Laura didn't even care. I've been flashing my assistant and might need sex addiction therapy. By the way, I've been flashing my assistant. Might need sex addiction therapy.
Please say insurance will cover it.
Why didn't you just tell me about all that?
Why didn't you just tell me about all that?
A beat as they consider the question, then they both nod.
Yeah.
Right.
Marilyn and Gabriel, hauling loaded catering trays, sprint past.
Quick, we got the crab puffs.
Veronica and David rush to the exit behind them. Fade to Veronica and David's bedroom later that night. Veronica, in PJs, phone cradled to her ear, rubs hand lotion.
Can't, sorry. Anyway, where are you?
Marilyn's on her cell, waving $100. The place, Havana Grand Prix, is packed.
Well, if asked, I'm covering on the Australian stock market crash.
Gabriel hears the word Australian and goes into action.
Sell, mate! Sell!
Everyone joins in and drowns on Marilyn.
So, mate, so.
Veronica hangs up as David enters, also in PJs.
Okay, so you were going to call Laura and she didn't know you were going to see her and you were going to go, how's the paper, Laura?
Yes,
That would have been cute.
I know. Where's the alarm clock?
Still boxed. Use a phone.
She gestures to her lotioned hands and gives him the equally lotioned phone.
Laura said to make an appointment with the psychologist from HR. They all call me the Flash now.
Not ideal, is it? Well, tomorrow's a new day, fresh start and all that.
They kiss goodnight. David fumbles with the slippery phone but manages to program an alarm. He then sets Veronica's phone on the nightstand and drinks from a glass of water, also on the nightstand. Lights out. A beat.
Veronica? Veronica!
Lights on. In a panic to pick up, David shatters his glass of water on the phone.
You hoochie.
And we fade out. That was great. That was good. I'm happy. I'm happy. No, thank you.